Colorado is now 10 preseason practices in. Feels about right. We're basically 2 weeks into camp, and today we got a chance to talk to an up-and-coming young coach. I asked him wrong. I said you were on the 30 for 30 list, which is obviously the ESPN documentaries. The 30 under 30 list. Right. He was a part of here just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, good thing he knew what you meant, right? Because I was literally thinking, what 30 for 30 was he on? So I had to think about the list. But yeah, certainly an up-and-coming coach. I mean, the offensive coordinator at Jackson State last year for that high-powered offense, and receivers coach here, and he has got a really good group to work with. And he's going to stay on that list if this group is as good as people think it's going to be this year.
I think Brett Bartolone showed early on that he was going to be a really good coach because he had a standout freshman season at Washington State, but injuries started to pile up and he jumped right into it, got a head start, and that's why he's been put in the position that he is, because he's had that jump start in his coaching career. And last year he was calling plays for Jackson State, so that shows you what Coach Prime thinks of him.
Yeah, and not only did he get a head start on him, but he did that with Mike Leach. I mean, he was at Washington State, and after he got injured, got to be around Mike Leach a lot, and who better to learn, the passing game concepts from than Mike Leach and learn about receiver play. So, yeah, he's kind of a fast riser. Worked at Nevada before he went to Jackson last year, and so he's gonna be fun to watch. His development as a coach, but also again like this group. We talked to Jimmy Horn today as well, and like this group. You think about all the different weapons that they have and different types of weapons, and if you're Brett Bartolone, how do you not show up to work every day like, oh yeah, all right, let's go. I can't wait to see this group play today.
Yeah, I was going to say, we have overvalued that receivers room in the preseason here at Colorado, and it goes out there and it's just not as good a group as we expected it to be. I feel pretty certain that's not going to be the case with this group. It's just a different level. You have guys that will be third string here at receiver, barring a ton of injuries, that would have started here in many years in the past.
Yeah, no question. And I mean, we were talking, I think, on a previous video that like Javon Antonio, is he maybe the fourth option here at receiver? Well, there's a lot of years he would have been the number one option at receiver. And so, Travis Hunter could be the best receiver we've seen here in all the years you and I have covered this program. And that's pretty impressive because you got Paul Richardson, you got Laviska Shenault, things like that. The two guys from South Florida were pretty impressive at USF last year, Xavier Weaver and Jimmy Horn. Now those two guys, they're probably not the top two here, but they could be, and so there's so much talent. Willie Gaines in the slot, so there's all these guys. Amari Miller, every time I bring somebody up, it's like, oh, there's another guy too. So I'm excited about this group, probably more so than I've been excited about a receiver group in the past, because even when we've been excited, we talk about the top two or three, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not sure we've ever really been excited about 6, 7 deep like we are right now.
And even beyond Omari and Miller, the future looks really bright with guys like Adam Hopkins in there, Jacob Page, Caleb Mathis as a slot receiver. So it really is just a loaded group. And we haven't even brought up Tarvarish Dawson, who actually might be the fastest player on the team. There's a few guys that would be in that competition, but he's legit, 10.5 type 100-meter speed.
Yeah, and he was a guy that one of the players brought up to me the other day at Media Day, and that I've sort of forgotten about because we've talked about a lot of those other people. But Tarvarish Dawson is a guy that brought up to me that, like, wow, I mean, he's super fast as well. And so, when you look at a guy like that speed, to your point, in previous years, you want to get that on the field. Here, it's like, well, you got speed at other places as well. And so, Tarvarish Dawson, if he's a third stringer, that's a pretty good group.
Yeah. We also had a chance to talk to Jimmy Horn, like you mentioned, and he's got a great personality. He did mention that not really 100% still from the spring, but he did say 95%. So that's probably as close as a lot of these guys are going to be going into the season, as he pointed out. But you hope that doesn't become a lingering issue, because he is the guy in that slot that he's best suited for that role.
Yeah, for sure. And I will say, when you watch the videos we've been able to see from camp, it doesn't look like he's 95%. It looks like he's 100%. So he's still out there making plays. And so it sounds like he's still comfortable with it. He's still making plays. And, yeah, hopefully he doesn't get any worse than that throughout the season, because that can linger. But, he's still a guy that's out there making plays. He's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Jalen Ellis, another guy to mention, comes in from Baylor, but just has gotten a late start on things and is just now kind of getting into the mix. And he'll have time to work that rust off as they get to the season. It'll be interesting to see if he becomes a guy that potentially gets in the mix at some point.
Yeah, he seems to me like a guy that there might have to be some injuries and things before you get to him. But he's another intriguing talent that, again, in years past would have been higher up on the depth chart. But right now, maybe you can allow him to develop a little bit. And you come in late, okay, that's fine. Develop, get ready for when we need you. And when you got a guy like that, that's further down the depth chart that you can just sort of take for granted right now. Again, that's a pretty good receiver group.
You mentioned Javon Antonio. We should spend more time on him. I don't know if there's anything I enjoyed this summer more than some of those one-on-one clips of him. Yeah. And I'm not sure how legal all of those were, but he came in here and set the tone that I'm a big receiver, I'm going to play like a big receiver, and I'm going to be a big part of this offense. And you have to respect somebody that has that sense of urgency and has a work ethic and determination to back it up. I mean, he's in the locker room showing all the time, eating fruit. Like, this really matters to him. He's trying to be a professional receiver.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk to him on Saturday or Friday at Media Day, and he's a guy that he's paid his dues, right? I mean, he's been at a lower level and he's had big production, but he's got 1 year of college football left. He wants to make the most of it, and he finally has his Power 5 shot. He's not going to blow this. I mean, this is something that he told me, like, I'm going to make the most of this year, and you have to really respect what we're seeing out of him, to your point, throughout the summer, and really some of those plays he's made that we're seeing on the videos, like, wow. I mean, between him and Travis and Jimmy Horn and Xavier Weaver, you're like, huh, all right. No wonder Shedeur Sanders has a smile a lot of days.
Well, it's a Monday, but I think just folks hearing about the receivers here in Boulder is going to put them in a good mood. Yeah. Again, we are 10 practices in. We'll be back with more analysis on Tuesday.